go. There we go. Up and running. Let's get everything going here. Okay. Let's see how we looking. All right. Locked and loaded. Knicks Weekly. Salutes everybody in the chat. Oh, hold on. We got to start over, man. It's late night Knicks Weekly, man. It's a little late. I almost forgot my bars. All right. Here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Sunday evening. A late night edition of Knicks Weekly presented by Manscaped. CP the franchise. Special guests with us. Some of you guys around the Knicks Twitter sphere, the Knicks community know my guy, iHateShaun, making his KFTV debut. My guy Sean Getty's in the building. On today's show, the Knicks go 2-0 on the week. We're going to recap the week that was for the Orange and Blue. Plus, reinforcements for the Knicks rotation as the Knicks sign Landry Shamet today. We're going to talk about what that means for the Orange and Blue going forward. Karl-Anthony Towns gets his revenge. Mikal Bridges stays hot. And we're going to take a look at the week at large for the New York Knicks, man. So lock in. You guys know what to do, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. This is KFTV, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Episode 110. Let's go, man. Let's get to it. My guy, Sean, how you feeling, man?
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here. Honored to be here. Salute to you. Salute to KFTV. The blueprint. So really excited, and good Knicks basketball. We in the things territory, as I like to call it. You know, 3 of them things. So love to see that. And when the Knicks are winning, life is great. So
man, life is great, man. And they had a tremendous week this week, and we're going to talk about it. But a little bit of a breaking news, if you will, the equivalent of a Woj water pistol, as the Knicks announced the signing of Landry Shamet, man. Landry Shamet signing with the New York Knicks today. What you think about that move, man?
I'm excited about it. Landry looked really good in preseason. He was shooting the ball well. He adds to what we have as far as like the very switchable wings who can space the floor and also defend. And he's somebody that Thibs trusts. So my friend Bro at Not Peppers, he said, Mikal gets to sit down, and Mikal's been playing like 45 minutes every night. So it's great to have another wing out there that Thibs can trust. And after we went through last season, we see how important it is to just have depth. The amount of guys that can step up, and the next man up mentality. Landry Shamet's another guy who can go out there and be the next man up. So really glad to be getting him back. He
had a strong preseason, and as many of the insiders pointed out, and what we saw with our own eyes, this was a guy, especially in the preseason, and especially with the Knicks' lack of depth, that was an easy roster spot that he was going to get, and a potential rotation spot. And so it was unfortunate to see him go out with the shoulder injury. But when they made the moves, just like Leon Rose and Brock Aller do, they played chess out there. When they waived him, signed him to the G League deal, it was with the intention for this day to ultimately allow him to rehab, go through Westchester. He cleared waivers. They drafted him in the G League draft. Goes back to Westchester for a couple rehab starts. And then here he is back at it. Matt Ryan has been waived. Now, according to Ian Begley on his report last week said that Matt Ryan might come back on a 2-way deal. But as it stands right now, the Knicks, with the signing of Shamet, have about $500,000 below the second apron. And then according to Bobby Marks, they will be able to sign another player, a 15th man, in just a couple of weeks. So is that going to be Ryan on a 2-way? Is that going to be another player where they go over the second apron? Not so sure about that. But that's basically where things stand. And I'm with you. This bench needs help. And no, he's not the savior. No, he's not necessarily the front office. the front court addition that we necessarily need. But he's much needed depth. This is one of the worst benches in the league in terms of points, in terms of minutes. Thibs. All right. So just as you said, Mikal Bridges is out there. He's the Iron Man and everything, but you need reliable reinforcements off the bench, guys that can log minutes and not kill you. I think that's part of the issue, is that while everybody wants to see Kolick and Dottier and all these guys get in, the reality is they're just not ready for primetime minutes. And so it forces the coach's hand. I mean, where do you stand with Thibs and the minutes and how he's doling it out with this rotation right now?
So I am one of those people who doesn't really complain about minutes. I'm not really, I understand. I don't think that the injuries we had last year really came down to minutes. And then after we were injured, it's like, well, I would rather have guys go out there and play 40 minutes than to have to depend on Daquan Jeffries. So I understand. I do think it's a little wild on some nights to be playing Mikal 45 minutes. We had a game where we blew the team out. I can't remember exactly what game it was. We won by like 30 points, and Mikal played 46 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a little unnecessary. But I also, I can't really knock Thibs on certain things or question Thibs. Like, I've seen Thibs' method of development of putting guys out there when they're ready work. Like, look at Deuce McBride right now. Deuce McBride, we didn't rush him out there. He took some time. So it's like I'm looking forward to seeing what Pacome Dade will look like in year 3 or year 4. I think he can contribute right now, but if he can't contribute to the standard of what the team needs, I'm not in practice. I'm not. So that's why I'm glad to get Shamet back, to have a guy that he trusts out there. And I also think that I appreciate that we have young talent that is ready to step up in that. Like I think Pacome can give us good minutes, truly.
Yeah.
If we were still a bad team, if this is 2-3 years ago, I'd be like, hey man, put him out there, blah blah blah. But like we're not a bad team, so now we get to see development in a different way. Where we used to draft guys and have to hope they can come be the savior, and now we can draft guys and just let them develop and hope they can be a player that can contribute in the next down the line, as good teams are supposed to do. So it's been great. I appreciate Thibs, and I do your thing, bro.
Let it marinate. Good point. Let it marinate, especially with Dadier. Like, there's no rush now, kind of like what they did with Knox. And some people thought that's what ruined Knox, was that they rushed him out there too fast. So we'll just have to wait and see. But hopefully, Shamet can crack the rotation and give these guys some much needed minutes. We're only in December, headed into January. There's a long way to go. And so, even like last night's game, yes, they needed those 40 minutes from Brunson and especially Brunson to beat the Pelicans. But at the same time, you're like, damn, we needed all that to beat the Pelicans. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Whoa, we got a $100 super chat from our guy, man, friend of the program, RGT85. Shout out to my guy, RGT, man. $100 super chat. That's KFTV fam right there, man. Merry Christmas, a.k.a. Merry Knicksmas, from our guy, RGT85, man. Make sure you guys are following him on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, man. Our guy, RGT85, man. You follow RGT, man?
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. I was thinking about him the other day because we got into we went from like an old school 90s car talk on the show that went into like old school 90s 2000s video games, and I was thinking about this video game for Dreamcast called Vantage Point, because we were talking about like Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, but Vantage Point, that was like the Dreamcast version of Gran Turismo. And it was like, the car collections was deep. It was good. So I was thinking about my guy RGT, wondering if he ever rocked with that game or did a breakdown of it, because it was definitely a classic joint. I don't know if you're a gamer, Sean, but you got to check it out, man.
Sega Dreamcast conversations. That's fire.
Dreamcast, man.
That was my first game. Well, I had a PlayStation, but
wow,
Dreamcast is like Dreamcast was my first like game system. That was mine. That was
Dreamcast was a cult classic, bro. Absolute cult classic. But anyway, as we look back at the week that was for the New York Knicks, only 2 games on the docket. So the good news was that they got much needed rest. And even better news was that they went into Minnesota and dog walked the Minnesota Timberwolves on Karl Anthony Towns night. Towns was the man, 32 points, 20 rebounds in his Minnesota return. What you think about that night, man? How did you react to that Towns game?
I thought that night was extremely special. I'm a very like sentimental person, but like I think that the importance of that is that was a very big night for Cat. That was an emotional night for Cat. He was there for 10 years, pretty much established a life there, got traded last minute. Like a lot of guys go into moments like that, and it's like, oh, it's too much, or like they had nerves and they had to shake it off, whatever. And he showed up ready. And I feel like that says a lot. That says a lot of like who you're going to be in the moment. When the moment is big, how are you going to show up? And he gave us 32 points on 12 shots. That's kind of unheard of. 5 for 5 from 3. He was 7 for 7 on Rudy Gobert. I think that was very personal too. He feels like, oh, y'all picked him over me.
Yeah.
And he cooked him. There was zero hesitation on any shot where Rudy is guarding him. Like he's shooting it as he catches it. It was beautiful to see. Excellent performance. 20 boards. He stole a couple boards from his teammates, but I don't care. Go out there and get your 20 boards. One time, OG looked at him like, "Bro, what's up?" Like, but he was a madman on the boards and his passing. My homie Blood at the Panther predicted that he would average 32, 12, and 6 when he got here. And I was like, 66 might be a lot. I know he's a capable passer, but it's just like, the way that he opens up the floor and allows us to, pull the rim protectors out and get the backdoor cuts going. And now everybody's moving up the ball. The cutters are moving off the cutters. And, he's hitting people with over-the-head passes. It's so beautiful. That night was wonderful. And I feel like it says a lot about who Karl Towns is and what he's going to be in big moments. So, huge night for me.
Yeah, no question. I mean, over his last 5 games, he's averaging 5 assists per game. I think that has been one of the more impressive aspects of his game, just the way that they utilize him through the pinch post, through the low post, and the quick decision-making. I love it. Because, again, no knock on Julius, but it is the anti-Julius. That's what we wanted to see from Julius consistently as one of the lead dogs. It's like, don't hold on to the ball. Don't be out there just, spending wasted possessions. With Karl-Anthony Towns, there's no wasted movements, right? Like, he's getting the ball. He's stopping and popping from 3. He's getting the ball. He's finding a cut in Mikal Bridges. He's throwing it over his head and Mikal Bridges on the cut, or Josh Hart or OG on the cut, or he's getting the ball. He's giving it right back out to Brunson. 2-man game. Boom, boom, boom. Like everything is intentional with him. There's no wasted movements, and the way he moves is just with efficiency through the shots, through the passes, through his cutting. It's been great to see, man.
It's funny because. And that's the beauty of, with you doing the show and, with people who do content and just, we were in the Twitter space when the trade happened. And so it's funny to think about, because we did it immediately, so it's just like we're going through our emotions. And I started the space off and I screamed. I said, no.
Yeah.
Just because I was so excited, the January Knicks, we were so excited to see what we could be. Guys coming back healthy. I was under the impression that Julius Randle was better than Karl Towns because Julius Randle was a Knick and I'm a ride for my guys.
True.
And then it's like literally like maybe 45 seconds into it after I finished screaming no, I was just like, as I thought about it, I was like, hey, 5 out. I was like, this could get kind of nice.
This could get kind of nice. Yeah.
This could get kind of, and we're seeing it on a nightly basis of how nice it can get. Like Jalen Brunson with an open paint behind him, the way it's opened up for everybody else. And like you said, man, Karl is just he's so effective and efficient. It exceeded my wildest expectations, honestly. He really is the anti-Julius, and no knock to Julius, but like you said, it's nothing wasted. He's either shooting it, he's going, he's finding a teammate, or he's getting off the ball, and it makes the offense flow so much more seamlessly.
14 boards a game, first in the NBA. 14 rebounds, 24 and a half, 14 rebounds, shooting 53% from the field. 43. He's on the regular season, 45 from 3, bro. He's
on high volume too.
On high volume.
From 3 on high volume.
On high volume at 84.
He's in the MVP conversation.
Legit. So it's been a breath of fresh air, and especially on the rebounding side, like a lot of people, sometimes people think about defense as, just effort and rim protection and steals, but rebounds and the possession. Defensive rebounds and the possession. So his ability to snatch those boards, it's vital to this team that has defensive holes. Vital, man.
Vital to this team that, everybody is, our power forward is 6'4".
Right.
It's definitely vital he's out there cleaning the boards. And, shout out to Josh Hart cleaning the boards as well. But, yeah, Karl has just been everything we could have asked for him, and of course, I think what's exciting, and I might be on a tangent.
No, get it. Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
But because this iteration of this team can go so far, and I think the sky's the limit, and we're seeing a progression over the course of the season. Mm-hmm. But it's just he's going to continue to improve, right? I think that next year he's going to come back understanding more of being a defensive anchor. He's going to be better at the thing. Even his weaknesses are going to improve, and we're going to see his prime here. And I think he's just, for us to acquire 2 guys who are superstars as they enter their prime is so dope. And the kind of thing that really, doesn't happen to us. This doesn't happen to us.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
It is. And then, you know, in typical Knick fashion, so they come out like looking like gangbusters in the Minnesota game, and then they struggled in the first half, at least, against a severely underhanded Pelicans team. And you are on Twitter, you can see and hear the reactions. Oh, here we go again. This team, they can never string together two consistent ones. And then Captain Clutch puts him on his back and says, forget about that. We going home 2-0 in the week. How'd you react to last night's win against the Pels?
Last night's win was special, man. And there's, you know, there might be people out there who feel like, oh, you can't have a, you know, good win against a bad team. But it's just like, at the end of the day, there's 82 games. You got to go out there and play what's in front of you. And like that, at that point in the third quarter, because going into halftime, I was like, okay, let's come out and play serious and win this game. And then we didn't get up to a good start in the third quarter either. So it was like, okay, this is kind of nasty. And I got to that point where it started to set in, like, this is a game that is losable. Not we're going to lose it, but like, whoa, suddenly this game that I thought was a formality that we were going to be, I was going to be screaming three of them things and celebrating, this could be a loss now. And that was starting to really frustrate me. And all of a sudden, Jalen Brunson just, you know, Jalen Brunson him. Words to the homie Pete.
That's it.
Jalen Brunson him, man. Like, he just, you know, none of those were open threes. It wasn't like, oh, they're doubling and we kicked it out and rotated. Like, he got an open corner three. He is pulling FU threes, like looking at coming down. And it got to the point, and I was talking to my brother earlier because it's one of those things that I haven't really felt like since Melo, where like he's coming down the court and I'm already celebrating because I know that he's about to shoot and I know it's going in. That's how hot he is. Like before he's even crossed half court, I'm shout out Playback Game, watch the games live together. And I'm yelling already. And then the shot's going up and I know it's going in. It's like he has game breaker. Yeah. It was phenomenal. And being able, like the same way it was like, okay, Cat going in there and having that kind of moment is big for us. It's like Jalen just making the decision that we're not going to lose the game is so dope to see and being able to carry it out.
We've seen so many times when he gets into that mode where it's just like everything is dropping. It's beautiful basketball, man. Like, you know, there was a couple people like, oh man, he's holding on to the ball too long. He somebody said replied to one of my videos that he was stat padding. I was like, stat padding? Like, bro, they needed every bit of that offense in that game last night, and I was loving it. 13 straight in the third quarter. How could you not? But you know what? In fairness, like I'm a Melo apologist. You know, I'll go toe to toe with a Melo hater to this day because they would say the same thing about him. But
there's nothing to apologize for, CP.
Yeah,
Melo has nothing to. The Knicks owe Melo the apology, so I'm with you.
I'm one of those guys. So when I see him going in, and you hit the nail on the head, like the adjustments in the second half of that game. Sure, at times they were trying to find McCollum or the lesser defenders, but oftentimes he's going head up with Herb Jones, head up with Trey Murphy, head up with DeJounte Murray, and just dropping buckets on him. And so that's just against a good defense, a good, desperate, spirited defense that the Pelicans played last night. It's just better offense from your superstar player. You know what I'm saying? And we're just blessed to have that type of talent that can overcome a night like that, where you're going up against a desperate team looking for a win, and your guy is just smooth and killing them. Just cold-blooded, man.
And they were being really physical with him. And they were allowed to be really physical with him. And that was clearly their game plan. It was like, we're going to muck the game up, and we're going to be physical with Jalen. And they've got that. That's not a good team, but they've got very good defenders. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and DeJounte Murray is a tough three to have to deal with, like when they're switching on you and they can hold on you and grab your shorts. And so it's like the fact that they made that their like the focus of their game plan. I don't know if that's what pissed him off. I don't know if he just like felt like he wasn't getting the calls. He was like, all right. Yeah. But angry Jalen Brunson is like, Jalen Brunson's my favorite player. Yeah. But angry Jalen Brunson is like on another level. He is so petty. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Next level, man. He was absolutely tight last night, and it was great to see. So the Knicks moved to, I believe they're 18-10 or 17-10. What's the record? Is he 17-10, 18-10? Let me just make sure I got that right. So to everybody in the chat, 18?
Dang, I could be wrong. I should have just shut up.
No. I'm trying to pull up the record here. Hang on, my internet kind of froze out. So to everybody in the chat, 18-10. Third in the East right now, 6.5 out from the Cavs. 4 games back of the Celtics. I also got a shout out this week and overall this month. Mikal Bridges, man. I mean, what a comeback after a slow start for Mikal Bridges, who seems to be locked in. You know, fingers crossed he seems to be right where he needs to be for this team right now. This month, he's averaging 21.7 points per game, 3.3 assists, 56% from the field, 44 from three, and a true shooting percentage of damn near 67%. Your thoughts, Mikal Bridges, then and now, man?
Turn that up. Turn that up. Look, I think that a lot of people were very critical of Mikal Bridges. And I'm not one of those people who says it's not okay to be critical. He wasn't playing well, so that's fine. But I think people made it much bigger than it needed to be. Even when I thought he wasn't playing well and it was frustrating, it was like he's adjusting. You know, this is the beginning of a new season. The team is figuring this stuff out. He's got to figure out a new role. It'll go, and I'm confident that it will. And so seeing it go now, all I ever ask, I'm not one for shouting out players and whispering accomplishments. Please make as much noise about him playing well. Yeah. It was very loud when he wasn't playing well. Sure. I need everybody talking about how well he's playing. So I love this. I love the conversation because Mikal has been excellent. The defense has gotten much better. He's shooting super consistently. His off-ball movement might be one of our offense's most important factors. Like, he just moves so well off the ball. He's so active. You know, he's always like he's like a safety valve running back. Like, you know, he's kind of always there. Like, if Cat has the ball up top and he's looking around for somebody, Mikal is always moving, always making himself available. That midi is super dependable. He's knocking them down from three now, especially in the corners, corner kill. He's been phenomenal. And, you know, like I said, I'm never somebody who says, no, you can't. If somebody's not playing well, it is okay to say they're not playing well. That's what we do. We talk about the games. Yeah. But, like, you know, just make sure, a lot of people, I feel like, you know, love to do the complaining and don't bring the same energy to the celebration. And at the end of the day, we're fans. Our job is to celebrate things. So I'm here to celebrate Mikal Bridges. I'm very happy about it. He's been excellent. And I'm looking forward to him getting even more comfortable.
Yeah, good points, man. Like you said, the fans shouldn't be afraid to say how they feel about the way a player's playing. I'm with you, man. And because I was one of those, like, yo, listen, I think he's going to get it together. I'm not going to be the one to grade the trade 25 games in because I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, we've gotten less and less patient with moves. And the NBA has showed us that you need to be more patient because things turn around. Things will change. The teams will gain chemistry. Things will improve. So you had to give the guy time to get through his lumps. My only issue with him earlier on was that it just didn't seem like the effort was at the maximum level. And in New York, we could see right through that. And so that's where a lot of the criticism was coming through. But now the jumper's looking smooth. His defensive intensity is on point, which is most important for me. But, you know, I love the late cutting action that he does. And when Brunson and Cart are driving and they find him streaking down the middle, he's good to go. The mid-range is looking filthy. A little mid-range fadeaway. I like how he's looking, man. He's got a little pep in his step. And I thought, you know, Cat was a story in that Minnesota game, but Mikal Bridges with the 29 points with no Josh Hart. I thought he was critical in that win.
He was fantastic. There's been a couple games in this past couple weeks where Mikal has carried us. Like, he's been phenomenal. And he looks really comfortable and confident offensively. And I think it's taking the offense to yet another level. And I'm really excited. You know, my homie Brill again, Not Peppers, made the point that we haven't really gotten OG and Mikal both playing well offensively at the same time. and when we do, oh my goodness, because they don't take away from each other. OG's still putting shots up. He's just going 2 for 9 from 3. So just like when he's hitting again and Mikal is hitting and Jalen is clicking and curtains for the league. It's over. It's a wrap.
We coming, man. We coming. That's basically what we're trying to say right now. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Late night edition KFTV Weekly. CP the Franchise. iHateShaun in the building. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new in the chat and we will shout you guys out. Also, remember to support one of our sponsors of the night, and that is Manscaped, fellas or ladies, man. Go ahead and get yourself or your significant other one of the many products from Manscaped, man. The #1 men's grooming tool, both above and below the waist. They have a number of shavers for your needs, whether it's your beard, your mustache, your sideburn, whatever it is. If you got, you got to get your ball bag done. Hey, it is wintertime. Whatever you guys are into, man. No testimonials, but Manscaped has you covered. Also, with premium solutions, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, lotion, ball deodorant, foot deodorant. They literally have you covered, fellas. So there's no need to not take care of your grooming and hygiene needs. And that is with our guys at Manscaped. And for our friends of the show, you guys know the deal, man. Use our code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping, and you will go home a satisfied customer. Shout out to our guys at Manscaped, man. They keep us laced and keep us protected, man. Salute, man. Okay. All right. Just had to pay the bills a little bit there, Sean. Okay. So, as we take a look at the, you know what? Matter of fact, let me shout out. We had another super chat come in, and that is from our guy, the rhyme animal, Chuck D, who says, hard to stop. He's talking about Karl Anthony Towns. Hard to stop when he passes the ball over the top of his head. It's like the Statue of Liberty, LOL, cat, and he catches the passes, which is important. Yeah, he is very sure-handed. That is for sure. And I do like those passes, man. Those little joints over the head.
I love those passes.
Yeah, he's throwing them like Larry Bird out there, man. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns, man. All right, let's salute to team hashtag New Bravo Bravado. Salute to you. Wildman X, welcome to the show, man. Jesco also in the chat. Welcome to the show, man. CBA franchise. I hate Sean on the ones and twos. Okay, Sean, let's take a look at the week ahead for the orange and blue. Let me just pull up the Knicks schedule here, and let's see who we got. Well, first off, Monday, we got the return of R.J. Barrett and the Toronto Raptors, and then you got Christmas Day tilt with Wemby and the Spurs coming into town, man. How you feeling about this week, man?
Comida, as we like to say. That's food.
Yeah.
We got food on the table. It's coming in. It's going to be a very emotional game. Like I if you know me, I love RJ.
Yeah.
Very big RJ fan. Still very big RJ fan. Still very big Manny Quickly fan. But one of the biggest things about my current RJ fandom is that I want him to play well all the time, but I want us to bust his ass every time we play him.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to busting their ass. Taking advantage of what we got to take advantage of. And then, they've got Wemby coming in the Garden. I know that I'm still thinking about it. So I know that Jalen Brunson is still thinking about it. He dropped 61 points and lost.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to us getting our get back from that, taking care of business in the Garden. We're in the thanks territory, so we can't get knocked off by the Raptors or the Spurs of the world. We got to keep it rolling. So I'm expecting 5 of them things. That's what I want for Christmas. I want 5 of them things. So.
Yeah, let's go, man. I'm with you. I've been a RJ fan and supporter. I love the way that he's kind of been blossoming in Toronto as his team right now. Scotty Barnes hurt once again. RJ's been the guy. He's at home. I love the way that they took care of him. And it seems like both sides can grow and prosper from this trade. He's found a team that he can, it's a different role. And it's a role that accentuates his strengths. He's not there with other paint cloggers like a Julius, and he doesn't have to share the rock with a Julius and a Jalen. He can go out there, do his thing, and thrive. And we all know that when RJ has thrived, and we lost Sean's video, RJ has thrived when he has the ball in his hands, and he's able to attack the basket. He's able to attack in transition, and so it's good to see him thriving. But I think I expect the Knicks to get another W there. And then the Wemby one's going to be very interesting, man. He's coming off a 30-point, 10-block night just last night. So his evolution in his second year is certainly meeting expectations. I want to see how the Knicks attack him. Who's going to be guarding him? Is it going to be OG? Is it going to be Mikal? Is it going to be some Karl Anthony Towns? Who's he going to be guarding out there? Is he going to be checking Towns? And is he the only guy that can block a Towns 3? It's gonna be
I'm really looking
man.
forward to seeing that matchup because I'm pretty sure he's going to be on Cat, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Cat attacks that. Like you said, from the perimeter, because he can get out and contest that. Are you going to take him down low and bump him? I'm really interested to see what we're going to see there.
Yeah,
and how Jalen attacks him off the screens. That should be a fun matchup.
Definitely going to be a fun matchup. And then Friday, you got Orlando, who is, talk about the walking wounded. I don't think any team has been decimated by injuries like the Orlando Magic. A team who was relatively healthy last year is being killed by the injury bug. Not only are they down Paolo, they're down Franz. I'm not sure what Jalen Suggs' status will be for this game, or if he's going to miss more games. But now they lost Mo Wagner. They lost Mo Wagner to injury.
It almost seems like they're plagued. It's kind of crazy. They're really dropping like flies. I feel bad for them. Yeah. We got to bust their ass. That's not our problem.
Yeah, that's not a problem. So I think this should be a 3-0 week And even looking past that, after that, you got back-to-back road games in D.C. So they got to stay in D.C. damn near through New Year's almost. They're back-to-back road games, Saturday and Monday in D.C. So they're staying out in D.C. And then you have Utah on January 1st, so New Year's Day. Right there, that should be 6 wins right there. Should be 6.
Easily.
Yeah.
So that's 5 by Christmas. That's 6 against Orlando. That's 7 and 8 against the Wizards. And that's 9 against Utah. I expect 9 straight. I expect it. And the Utah game is a non-negotiable. There's some games where it's like, hey, if you drop that one, I understand you can't win all 82. You already lost to Utah.
Yeah.
So we can't lose to Utah. We can't get swept by the Jazz. That's unacceptable.
We need revenge, man. And, Mo Wagner out with a torn ACL. Bye-bye, Mo Wagner, man. So he's out for the Magic. That's a big, big loss for them. What's Jalen Suggs' status here? Jalen Suggs, ankle listed probable Saturday. That was 2 days ago. Okay. And he's questionable against the Celtics on December 23rd. So he's got a right ankle sprain.
He'll probably be back.
Yeah, he'll probably be back. Shooting bricks, though. So, yeah, I expect 3-0 this week. And, hey, for this Knicks team, who, it's so funny that we talk about how up and down they've been, and this has been their best start through the 27 games in the Thibs era. Now that doesn't count the quality of these wins and losses or how they look overall, but I think it's to show us that they're fine, man. They just gotta keep building, keep improving. But so far they're all right. 3rd in the East. Yes, they got a mountain to climb to catch Boston and Cleveland. We know they're the class right now. But I think the Knicks are in a great spot, man. Your thoughts?
I'm not worried about the Knicks at all. I think we're in a great spot, like you said. And I don't even feel like I'm not worried about catching Boston and Cleveland either.
Yeah.
Like I'm really just, concerned on us running our race and being the best version of the team that we can be. Because even Cleveland, I don't think they're very special, honestly. Even the game we played them earlier this season, we had the lead for most of the game.
Yeah. And
then we crumbled in the fourth quarter. Darius Garland had a great game. That's very rarely going to happen. And that was before I think Cat took 7 shots that game.
Yeah.
We hadn't even figured ourselves out yet.
Different
guy.
So
it's just like, we're at a whole different place right now. So it's just like, as long as we keep going our best, whether we end up the 3rd seed, the 2nd seed, the 1st seed, whatever it may be, I'm ready for any of these teams in 7 games, especially the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about what we have going on. And we're getting Shamet back. We're getting Mitch back. We just got Precious back. So
things are coming together, man. We're going to be in great shape. What did you think about, after the Timberwolves game, a lot of fans wanted to see Precious in that starting lineup. They already put Josh Hart on the bench. They want to see Precious. They want to go with a bigger lineup, especially for defensive purposes. Where do you stand right now on just that balance right now with the starting 5, and do they need to go bigger in the starting unit?
I didn't see a lot of that conversation. But I really don't like that conversation. And I think it's very unfair. I think Josh Hart has been phenomenal. And I'm not saying that it's mean to say to Josh, but it's just I think Josh Hart has been phenomenal. He's been so important. He handles so much for this team. His defense is excellent. His rebounding is great. He gets us out in transition. He's kind of like our secondary playmaker on a lot of nights. And he's shooting the ball well. One of my main things, I came into the season, I was like, Josh can shoot 35, 36% from 3. We are golden offensively. And he's honestly, in my opinion, he's exceeded that. I think he might be shooting around 35 or 36, whatever it may be.
He's at, let's see right now. He's at 39.
39, yeah, I knew he exceeded it. He's exceeded it. And not only is he at 39, he's shooting. I think there's good volume there, too. He looks comfortable shooting the 3. Last year he looked like he didn't want to shoot it and they got kicked out, and that kind of hurt our spacing. And so now Josh is at a point where he's not hurting the spacing at all. He's helping the playmaking. He's helping the defense. He's helping the boards. I think he sits down for one game after showing up for us every night, and we start talking about taking him out of the starting lineup. I don't really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Precious got subbed out of the bench lineup last night. Jericho. And Jericho gave us great minutes. That's another person where I was vocal earlier this season about him not playing well, so I thought I got to be vocal about how Jericho gave us excellent minutes last night. It was a huge part of that comeback. Shout out to Jericho Sims.
Yeah, I excellent points, man. I'm with you. I disagree on the take Hart out of the starting lineup. For one, I don't think Thibs will ever do it. unless they're, unless it's like, I think that becomes like a playoff type of adjustment. Like, let's say they are going up against Cleveland and, Mobley and Allen are just killing these guys and they have no answers and they got to get a little bit bigger. Something like that, like drastically. But I don't think he's intends on changing their starting lineup. Now, if they're situationally in the game where you got to get bigger and you got to throw Precious out there or Sims out there or Mitch when he comes back, sure, I think Thibs will leave that door open. But I think Hart is way too important to this team as a rebounder, as a secondary playmaker. Like I looked at it last night. Like when you're playing up against tight defenses like that, you might want to run some sets of Jalen Brunson off ball. Well, who's going to be that guy playmaking? Hart outside of Brunson. Towns is a great playmaker, but on the perimeter, it's Hart. That's your secondary point guard right there, right now, right? Like when they're putting 2 on the ball with Brunson and you got Hart feeding through the middle and then he's going attacking 4 on 3. Who's he finding in the corners? His wings, right? And what's Mikal Bridges' biggest strength right now? It's a corner 3. You want Mikal in the corner right now. That's what he's eating. He's getting money. So you need that guy that can break down the defense as a secondary playmaker, and I think Josh Hart is going to be vital there, man.
I think I describe something a lot as Knicks PTSD, where because in the past we've been bad, or like we're just always looking for what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to just enjoy what's going on. We don't have to talk about changing the starting lineup. Good teams don't really have those conversations. That's not really a good team conversation. That's for bad teams. Like, this isn't working. What can we do? The starting lineup works. It's fine. We can just enjoy it. We don't have to do these, we don't have to do that. Josh Hart is shooting like 79% at the rim.
Yeah, brightest future. 77. Yeah, he said he's 77 inside of 3. It's something like that, man. He's like at the top of the league. We need high efficiency shots, man. The threes ain't always going to fall. That's my key. Like, I love how they shoot the threes, but I hate living and dying on the threes. So I need somebody to get money, get inside the basket, and get it out the mud sometimes. And that's what Josh Hart could do.
Mm-hmm. And the rim pressure, just the rim pressure alone, like you said, to be able to kick out to the corners. Josh Hart is huge for us, man.
He's huge.
I said a lot last year that he has a thankless job. And I think this year his job is less thankless. I feel like it's more clear what he's doing. Mm-hmm. But I still don't think it's appreciated enough. Josh Hart, I always describe him almost every single night in postgame as everything, everywhere, all at once. Josh Hart is doing everything all night, every game. It needs to be appreciated. He's funny. He makes jokes, but Josh Hart is for real.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. So all in all, squad is looking good. Hart is looking good. Welcome back to Hart, Cat, Brunson, Bridges. Now let's just see if this bench unit can get it together. Can this bench unit find some consistency and get these guys a much-needed breather and start playing well? We'll see if Landry Shamet can help a little bit and we get Deuce Payne running and gunning some more. But this week and the next, I think this team should be in a great spot. But what's the next game you plan to go to?
I feel like I'll be up in New York in January, so probably one of those January games, maybe even that Timberwolves one. That would be cool, but the ticket price would probably be crazy. But probably in January.
Okay.
I gotta get up there.
I'm definitely in that one for the Julius revenge game. Oh, man. Speaking of, we talk about Knicks Weekly. You know who had a bad week? Damn, that was... Yo. Hey. Julius had a bad week, man. Minnesota is ready to get him out of there. I said, damn, man. Oh, man. I think Thumbs Down Part 2 might be coming soon. Thumbs Down Part 2
they
might
are
be coming
cooking
soon.
him.
Yeah.
They're cooking him. But honestly, and this goes to, and once again, I have appreciation for Julius. Julius came here when people didn't want to come here, became an all-star here, all-NBA here. I'm always appreciate Julius. But, I think even with him not shaking hands the other day, I'm like, that doesn't really surprise me.
No, not surprised. Not surprised.
It's not. It doesn't surprise. It's unfortunate. It's disappointing, but it's not really surprising. That's who he is. And so Julius is over there in Minnesota, and when I look at the things they're complaining about, and I see what the fans are saying, it's the same. It almost makes me feel vindicated, honestly. Some of the experience we had, it's like I wasn't crazy. Because what I love about this team, and I don't want to slight him, I don't want to make this a pop, but I love that there's nobody on this team that I have to hope is going to try. that I have to hope is gonna care. You know, I used to have to hope he's gonna care tonight. Like some of those, like nobody does that. Nobody on this team, like, they can have an off shooting night, maybe, you know, whatever. I can deal with that. A little too many turnovers tonight, cool. But like, I don't have to hope you're gonna care.
You hit the nail on the head, man. You hit the nail on the head, man. And don't apologize. You know, the Julius Hive will try to put pressure on you, man. Like, oh, don't knock the guy. You started the movement, this, that, and the third. Even that, to me, is a myth. You know, listen, man, the guy had his faults. We had issues with it. And now you've seen the same issues there in Minnesota. Like, it just is what it is. He's a good player. He's an all-star caliber player. He's not a winning player, man. He's not a winning player. And everybody ain't want to say, oh, man, the playoffs, it's the ankle, it's this, it's that. He's just not there, man. And for us fans like myself, it was wishful thinking that he was going to, you know, change. Leopard don't change, man. The leopard don't change spots, man.
I used to tell, I had a clean slate with Julius every single season.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, I wanted to trade him, but he's still here, so clean slate.
That's it. That's it, man. So either way, man, great show, my guy, man. Congratulations on your debut. We're definitely going to do some more of these. Salute to everybody in the chat. For those of you guys that are pulling up to the Garden tomorrow, I will be there for RJ's game, man. I got to go salute my guy, Broadway Barrett. So I will be in the building at MSG, man. If you guys are going to be there, make sure you guys pull up. We're going to be doing some great content inside the building as well. And if you guys haven't gotten your tickets yet, go ahead and use our sponsor, man. Shout out to our guys at SeatGeek. Use our code KFTV for 10% off your tickets. Hey, listen, Madison Square Garden is a pricey ticket, man. You know, it costs a pretty penny. So anything we could do to help you guys save $1 or $2, we're going to do that. So use our code KFTV10 at SeatGeek, the #1 rated ticketing app and the official ticketing app of KFTV. 10% off your order up to $20. And we'll see you guys at the Garden, man, for RJ. A little pre-Christmas tap in with our guy Broadway Barrett. Tonight's episode of Knicks Weekly is going to be like part 1. You know, we usually do like an hour show. We're going to cut it a little short tonight. The long show, we had a long weekend. Tomorrow, my guy Mike Vorkanoff of The Athletic comes through. We're going to talk about this Knicks front office, man. The Athletic ran a dope poll of NBA executives in terms of where these front offices rank. And we're going to talk about where the Knicks rank and talk about the Rose regime through year 4 and the year 5 of the regime, man. So part 2 of Knicks Weekly will be tomorrow afternoon. Make sure you guys tap into that. Of course, tomorrow we're going to have play-by-play with our guy CK2K. And then post-game show. #1 show for the fans by the fans. So make sure you guys tap in. Sean, any last words for the Knicks faithful and KFTV, man?
I just want to say it's been an honor and a pleasure to be here. CP, you are that guy. And it's definitely been, you know, I'm always looking forward to an opportunity to come here and present another one. Also, on possibleop.com, go ahead and get yourself a Knicks hoodie, you know.
Yes, sir.
Part on my sleeve hoodies. And yeah, let's go Knicks, man. 4 of them things coming up. Necesito cuatro.
Let's go. Let's go, man. Remember that the show's available in audio podcast format. No reason to miss it. You can catch us on all major podcast platforms. And if you missed today's show, I see a couple people in the chat like, damn, I missed the recap. I got to start over. Well, join the replay gang, man. Shout out to our guys. Sean, shout out to RGT, Chuck D, TM, all our producers. We out of here, man. Have a great week, everybody. See you.